And now, for your listening pleasure,
Well, and today on Get the AASS Out of Bed Day, I'm leaning in to talk about burnout. I am Carolyn Sanek, life coach, author, high-value woman, and this is my podcast, Thrive. It's only the beginning of February, and I know some of you are already burned out. Yeah, if you're sitting here and you hear yourself say you are exhausted, you're burned out. Heck yeah. Most of us are exhausted, and it's probably due to chronic stress. Chronic stress will light the match, and then burnout happens. Burnout is a state of energy depletion or exhaustion. You feel less effective in a work role. It is an occupational phenomenon that occurs in response to chronic work stress. There isn't anything wrong with you. You are having a normal human reaction to unremitting stress. It can happen as a caregiver, a parent, a student, an activist, or an athlete. And let me tell you something. I was so burned out by the time I was 45 years old, and I talked about this yesterday, that I ran away. Okay, learn to recognize the signs. Pay attention to signals that your stress levels are starting to get too high. I cannot stress loudly enough that if you're exhausted, truly exhausted, it probably is burnout. Rethink about what stress means and how you respond to it. Some degrees of stress are normal and expected in your life, but it should be moderate stress, not a rock pile of stress. Practice saying no and set boundaries. Pay attention to your emotions. They'll talk to you. Don't push them away. When you're burned out, you will feel disconnected from the meaningful aspects of your work, even if you normally love your job. Carve out time to do things you really enjoy. You need to do this because you have not been doing it. Understand? Think about it. And if you are burned out and you cannot cope with it, there is help. I'm Carolyn Sanek, life coach, author, high-value woman. This is my podcast, Thrive. Thank you all so much for listening, and that's a wrap.